Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to another episode. Today I'm here with my friend Megan. Megan, tell us, where can we find you?
Hi guys, I'm Megan. I can be found on Instagram, Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, like all of the things, as Dapper Chic Boutique, BTQ.
Love it. And I want to get into your history with Poshmark, but before we even dive into that, I want to talk about Poshfest because you were a speaker at Poshfest. What was that experience like?
It was insane. It was awesome, but it was the most nerve-wracking, terrifying, awesome, fun, crazy experience I've ever had. It was the first time I realized I'd ever traveled alone. I'd never been on an airplane by myself before, and I'm 30 plus some years old. I went by myself, which I was in a hotel room by myself. I had great sleep. That was fantastic. But in general, being in front of 1,200 people speaking about yourself is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And it was like, why am I doing this? I'm not good enough. I don't understand. And then you get out there and you're like, word vomit, word vomit, word vomit. I don't know what I'm doing. How was it? I called my best friend and was like, how'd I do? And she's like, oh my God, it's so great. And I'm like, okay, all right. So we're good. So yeah, all of the emotions in about a 15-minute time span.
I love it. And your panel was focused on talking about being a part-time seller?
Yep, exactly.
If you could synopsis of the main points of what you said, what was like the biggest takeaway?
So the biggest thing, so I like to say on my group, I was representing the moms in the group. So I have 2 young boys, one's 4 and one's 1. And I basically said, when you're a mom and you're a reseller, you're not a part-time anything. You're a full-time mom, you're a full-time reseller. And in my case, like, I just became a full-time preschool teacher. Thank you, quarantine. So that was my biggest thing. The other big point that I wanted to make to people during that, and that I still, like, for all of the people watching this video, is that you need to stop comparing yourself to everybody that's on Instagram. Because I found myself getting into this rabbit hole and being like, why can't I make 37 sales in 4 hours? Why can't I have a $50, everything is $5 sale and make $1,000 doing it? Like, what is wrong with me? Well, that's because this person doesn't have kids. This person is in a place where she can go thrifting every single day. This person is, we're all in this different season of life. And if you can just recognize the season that you're in and relish in that, then you're going to be good and you're going to be satisfied with where you're at. You can still grow. That doesn't mean you can just be complacent, but you got to just be flexible when you're in our position. That was my biggest point.
We're talking about this business and this world that we live in. How long have you been in it? When did you start reselling?
I started in October of 2016, and it all started with me giving up trying to get back into my pre-baby clothes. Yeah, that's real life. I had this pair of red Express pants that I was like in love with, and I said, I am not selling these in a garage sale. So I sold them on Poshmark, and then my friend introduced me to a Goodwill, and I was like, okay, can I tell you the story about my very first flip? It's so embarrassing.
I would love to hear it, yes.
So I went to Goodwill with my friend, and she's like, seriously, like, Goodwills are awesome. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I found this Express sweater. It was zebra striped, and I flipped it for $12 on Poshmark. Now, mind you, there's a $2.95 fee, right? And I told my husband, I distinctly remember telling my husband, if I can make $5 on every item that I sell, we're going to be rich. I just think about that and I'm like, how naive. Like, it's just crazy to me, like how things change with your mentality over the years, because now if I make $5 on something, I'm like, oh, crap, So it was just so funny. I'll never forget that. We're going to be rich.
I love that though, because that's a memory that can humble you when you need to be humbled, especially
exactly
like this with quarantine when so many people are hurting. Like, I'm just thankful for any sale I get, if I get any.
Yeah, you and me both. It's a mess right now.
Yeah. So you sell on Poshmark. Do you sell on any other platforms?
Yep. I am also on Mercari and eBay. I used to be on Tradesy, and then I stopped, and then my listings expired, and then I just didn't renew them. So that's just, but honestly, eBay is what's been keeping me afloat these past few weeks. I have 260,000 followers on Poshmark. I list 10 new items. I just got to 1,000 active listings, and I'm making 1, maybe 2 sales a day. Like, it is not good for me on Poshmark right now. That's fine. We all go through those slumps, but eBay is where it's been fire for me and just keeping me afloat. So I'm so thankful that I finally branched out and went into different platforms, because if I didn't, I would just be at a stalemate with my business.
So if someone's watching this right now and they're on Poshmark, but they've never gone to eBay yet, what would your biggest piece of advice be for them?
Don't break up with them, because I've done it several times. Just keep sticking around. You'll get through it. No, but really though, I think for me, my biggest pain point before, so I've been on eBay twice. The first time I did it for a year, and then they did some weird update. I didn't make any sales for like 45 days. And this was small time. I had maybe 100 listings up. And so I broke up with them for a while and just went straight Poshmark. Then I branched into Mercari. And then I was like, all right, let's give eBay a chance. So what happened there was, the second time I went around, I used a cross-listing platform, because it is so much harder to list on eBay. It's so hard, and it's just overwhelming almost with how many details you got to put in. When you use these cross-listing platforms, it pre-fills from Poshmark, and it also like gets rid of the stuff you don't need. So that is just like boom, 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 done. So I can do 10 on Posh, 10 on eBay, 10 on Mercari in a day. That's 30 new listings up with millions of people to see it, instead of just my Poshmark viewers. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is to invest. If you're going to invest in eBay, is to invest in a cross-posting platform, whatever that is. Am I allowed to tell you what I use?
Please, go ahead.
Okay, so I use Vendoo. I used it when it was free and it was still in beta testing and stuff, and really enjoy it. I have a lot of people ask me like, hey, which do you prefer, this one or this one? I only know Vendoo. I can only speak for it, so I don't ever want to like say anything bad about something else I haven't even tried. So, but I do enjoy that service. I think it's easy to use. They're super responsive, and it's fairly inexpensive. So it definitely pays for itself in the sales that you make through those other platforms. So that's my biggest advice for people that are looking into cross-posting, is to get help doing it. Don't do it all manually, because it's a mess. It takes forever.
I agree. I use List Perfectly, but then again, I've never tried Vendoo. I don't have anything against it. It's like the exact opposite of what you said, where it's just one of those things, but it's definitely, man, I can't even imagine not paying for it, because yeah.
Right?
Platform, yeah. It makes it so easy.
Worth every penny. Every penny. And I know people kind of complain about pricing on those kind of things. I also use a VA, and that was just like, oh, here I am, this nice little mom and pop business. And then I got a VA and was like, look at all this time I have. This is amazing. And then I could actually grow, you know? So also, if you've got a bunch of listings and you're just sitting there sharing your closet all day, every day, stop doing that. Pay somebody else to do it. You know, like that way you have time to grow and get bigger and better and make more money, instead of just being stuck where you're at.
I agree. That's excellent advice. So I want to go back to how happy you were with your $12 sale. And I want to talk about your favorite sale of all time. Because if you got excited with that $12 sale, that $5 profit, tell me what's been the best one, your favorite one. Your Escada suit. I snooped your closet.
Ugh, that Escada suit. Boo. Boo. That was an awful sale. I made like $6. Like I overpaid for that guy. And it was ugly. Oh, it was ugly. oh, what was I thinking? Like, that wasn't my style, but it had the price tag on it and all this. No, my favorite flip of all time, and this wasn't probably my best flip. I'm not sure if it was my best flip or not, but it's my favorite anyway. So the day I quit my corporate job, I went to Goodwill because at this point I was doing Posh on the side. I had decided to go full time. That's a whole nother story. Because we were moving, and I was like, okay, I just went and turned in my computer. I'm going to go to Goodwill and just kind of like de-stress. That day I found Kate Spade, a bunch of Lilly Pulitzer, this and that. I grab everything and I bring it home. I'm doing comp research and I look up this pair of Lilly Pulitzer shorts and I'm like, hey, Austin, that's my husband. And I'm like, I think I just found what they call a holy grail Lilly Pulitzer print. And he's like, really? What is it? And I'm like, well, these say that they're going for like $300. And he's like, what? He's like, how much did you pay? And I'm like, $250. He's like, oh. Turns out they were Lilly Pulitzer, Holy Grail, Dark and Stormy shorts. The Dark and Stormy print, which is like super rare, I guess. I sold those things for $250 on eBay. Can you believe that? The day I quit my job, it was just like a sign from the heavens above that this was meant to be. That was my favorite flip because it was like personal. You know what I mean? Like, I bought those the day I quit my job, and then I made this ginormous sale just to like put the icing on the cake. You made the right call, Megan. So that was really cool.
So finding a Holy Grail Lilly Pulitzer item had to be awesome. What is another brand that might be just like your dream brand to find?
I think that was when I found Teaks, because, you know, we go to the thrift store every time and we just are like looking and looking. And then the one day it happened. And I cannot tell you, like, I remember I had to go to the bathroom so bad, but I refused to leave my cart because everyone was a suspect. Like, everybody knew I had Teaks in the bottom of my cart. And there were two pairs of Teaks in the same shopping trip. And I was like, nope, you're going to hold it. You're either going to hold it or you're going to go out and put them in your car and then come back, because you are not losing these. Like, that was honestly the dream. The other brand that, it makes me so mad is that stupid Golden Goose, because now I have to look at every single nasty tennis shoe on those racks just to make sure it's not a Golden Goose, because they're so gross to start with. Oh, it makes me so mad. And I'm like, this is disgusting, but if I find it, I'm going to be so happy. So Teaks makes me very happy. Golden Goose is sadly only been a disappointment so far, but that would be like the dream.
What about the flip side of that? Are there any brands that used to move really well for you and now you just can't give them away?
Yes. Okay. Where do I start? How long do we have? So I honestly am trying so hard to break up with the following brands. Madewell, because it's always overpriced for what you can sell it for. Like, I don't find it cheap. Everywhere I go marks it up because they think it's an awesome brand, which it is. But for the resale price, like, I don't get my money's worth out of taking my time. See, there's Madewell, sorry, you're going to be really mad at me because of your previous interview, but Zara, I can't get Zara to move. Like, I had to quit picking it up, but it's another brand that usually gets marked up that doesn't have a wide enough gap for me to. Rag & Bone jeans. I love Rag & Bone so much, but boy, I can't give those jeans away. $30, like, that's it. And usually it's another one you have to pay up for. So those are my three that I'm trying to break up with. Oh, and Vince tops. Anything Vince that's not shoes or pants or a really thick, chunky $500 sweater, I leave it. So
yeah, I agree with those. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been such an awesome experience to be sharing my community, and I can't share my community without having you share your community. So are there a couple of friends that you'd like to shout out?
Absolutely. So if you're not following her, Nicole with Birdie Looks Fashion is one to follow. She is fairly new to reselling, but she's also a mom of 2 young kids and is an expert in buying wholesale liquidation boxes and does YouTube videos for them. So if you have any interest, follow her. Wicked Lens is hysterical and also has really good eyebrows, so you should definitely follow her. And then my girl Heels in the Gym, Bri, is like the best person to follow if you need motivation in your life, because every day she is just making you feel good about yourself. So follow all three of them. They are the best.
All right, love that. And friends, I'm going to link them all below so you can easily find them in one click. Megan, thank you again so much for coming on today and sharing all of your insights. It's been so much fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney, so much for having me. Bye.